Hey, good morning, folks. It's Bob here at Sorrento Hill. You might be able to tell I found another log. That bare spot there is where my trailer was parked. And this morning, I ran down to a local sawmill, and that trailer had 4 oak logs and 3 cypress logs on it. And I had it cut into boards. Now, I went ahead, I could have gotten a little bit more, because I wanted to see just how dry these boards are. These are from the oak in here is from a couple trees. One had fallen against the other, and I had to cut them both down. They're close to where the garden is going to be, or actually in the garden area, and I had to cut them down. And so I cut the logs a little over 8 foot long, and got them pulled out of the woods and loaded up in my trailer. So they had been probably about 3 years old. So let's see. Wow. And that's 23%. That one's even more. I don't know if you can hear it beep or not. Yeah, these are all about 23% moisture, 23, 24%, which you would think with it being cut down and in the open, it'd be less than that. But, out on a trailer, I had 3 cypress logs, and they're down to, and that's 15.7. So I'll get these unloaded and get them off into my kiln. Which, speaking of the kiln, I'm going to head out that way because I've got a bunch of cedar logs in there that I'm hoping are dry enough by now that I can start doing cordwood again. But I don't like to just go on, well, I think they're good enough. So I like to check them out and see for sure. Yeah, these are still too moisture level is still too high in these, so I don't have any ready yet. It's kind of convenient here. I'm working down below, down low, but it's kind of convenient because I know that's upside down. If it's above 16%, yeah. If it's above 16%, it beeps. If it's below 16%, I know I need to look at the moisture meter and see what it reads. So these aren't. These are probably. I guess some of the smaller ones are dry. This is probably. These are probably, by the time the weekend is over, these will probably be ready to go. But I will check them again on Monday, and then decide at that point how close they are. I like for them to be down around 12%, but if they're below 15, I'll go ahead and use them, because by the time they get to 15, uh, by the time the logs get down to 15%, they pretty much have they've got the shrinkage done with them, so you'll be all right. 12%, I know that all the shrinkage is done, so those will be good to go. And put this up. I'm putting this up where I always keep it because I have a bad habit of putting things down where it's convenient for the moment and forgetting them. I wanted to show you something else I've been working on here. All right, now you remember me going out in the woods, and let me pull this one out. And in a previous video, I showed you some of those hickory trees that I had cut down. And I said, you know, this one here has a nice handle. That'd be a nice handhold for a walking stick. And here it is after the bark is peeled off. It was in the last video. And now hickory is a pain in the neck. I got some of these that are cedar. Like this little walking stick here. This is cedar, red cedar. Well, that took me about 2 minutes to peel using the pressure washer, and then did some sanding on it. Hickory, that takes a while. And then I've got this one here that's oak. A friend brought this to me. It has a nice little a hand grip, and all I did, this was oak, and I peeled the bark off it, used some walnut Danish oil on it, put a couple coats on it, and it's got a, boy, it feels nice and smooth. I sanded it down to 400, and you see I left that little knob that was on it, leave it as natural as possible. But the handle, man, I mean, it feels almost like a pistol grip, but it's pretty neat, a walking stick. And then what I did, I'll tell you the whole story here. What I did was I decided, well, I got to have some kind of holder for them. So what you see here, this is a piece of oak board. This one's 2.5 inches thick. This is some stuff that I milled using my Alaska mill, and you can see how rough it is with the chainsaw marks. But I run it through my planer right here, and then I run it through the table saw, and next thing you know, that rough board is pieces like this. It's got some knots and the like in it, but that's how it finishes out after running it through the planer. It's got some nice grain in it, and then I'll just sand that down. And I made these about 2.25 wide by 1/2 inch thick, and I turned them into this. Now this is you know, umbrella stand, umbrella holder / walking stick holder, and this is oak, and this is all made from a tree that was out on my property that I milled with the chainsaw mill, and then ran it through the planer and ran it through the table saw to get the boards I need. Now the trim here, that's some of that board. That's just about 3/4 inch wide, and then mitered so that you don't see any of the end grain in the frame on the top of it. And I'll see if I can sell that in addition to the walking sticks. And if nobody wants to buy this, why, I like it, so I'll put it next to my front door. All right, so I guess the chores for today is going to be to get those boards unloaded from the trailer so they don't get wet, and get them put in the kiln so they can dry down to moisture level where I can use them, and do some cleanup around here, and then I'll get out there in the woods, and I'll start pounding in more fence posts so that I can get that going. So I'm kind of at a standstill for a few more days until my logs get drier for the cordwood. And you know, it might be tempting to say, well, you know, that's close enough. Go ahead and use them. But the problem is, if you use cordwood log, use your cedar logs and cordwood before they're good and dry, then guess what happens? They continue to shrink and pull away from the mortar. Next thing you know, you've got gaps. And I am happy to say, um, this is the third season that I've been working on cordwood. So I've got the back wall of the house was actually done in 2021. And then side and part of the front done in 2022, and then the front and then this other side I'm working on now, 2023. Um, and I'm proud to say that on the back side and the north side of the house, I don't have any more any gaps. I don't see any mortar pulling away from the logs. So that's a good thing, and that's because I've been patient and waited until my logs get dry enough so that I don't have to worry about them shrinking, because the logs will shrink, the mortar won't. And so that's an important thing. So yeah, it means I won't be able to do cordwood today, but it means when I am able to do cordwood, probably on Monday or Tuesday next week, we'll be good to go. Well, I can do it Monday next week. I won't be able to Tuesday. Debbie is, her plant is closing, so her job's going to end there mid-October. So she's going to be looking for something else because she's not ready to retire. So she's got some vacation days that she's uh, using up, and so Tuesday she's taking a vacation day. And on Tuesday, what we're going to do, it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day according to the forecast. So what we're going to do next Tuesday is we're going to take a trip from here to land between the lakes, and we're going to go to a place called the Home Place 1850s. If you've never heard of that, they've got a Facebook page. There's also a web page. It's part of the, um, I think it's part of the national parks area. I'm not sure exactly who oversees it, but anyways, it's in the land between the lakes area there in Tennessee. And what they did when the TVA created those lakes, well, they bought out all the farmers and all the homesteaders that lived there and created a big park out of it. Well, what they did is they went through and they gathered up some of these old log buildings um, that were scattered out throughout the area, and they have um, a dog trot house with an attached kitchen. They have a spring house. They have a tobacco barn. They have uh, a woodworking shop complete with old woodworking tools and everything. Um, let's see, I think I said, yeah, tobacco barn. They actually grow some tobacco and dry it in that barn. Another two-story log home, a couple barns and the like, and they actually have people there that are paid to be reenactors. And there's women that they sit there and quilt. They cook meals. The guys that are there, they've got a guy who works in a woodworking shop making stuff. They run the farm. They've got the ducks. They've got chickens. They got pigs. They got oxen. They got horses. And they actually have a plot where they grow a nice big garden, and they also have a plot that they farm, and they use the oxen and the horses for doing that. And so what a gig, get paid to live like and reenact the 1850s. I mean, they're government employees doing this. What a gig, right? So we're going out there Tuesday. It's a place we really enjoy. They have several different special events and the like, but we haven't been out there for a couple years, and it's a place we like to go to each year. And so when we go out there, why, I'll take the mic and everything, and we'll do some recording, and we'll share some of that with you guys. Um, it's really a place that's been inspirational to me, and it's absolutely beautiful. And the weather's going to be nice enough. We're actually going to ride the bike over there, so that adds to the good for the day. All right, thanks for stopping by. We're going to try to get a little more regular with videos, especially now that I'm doing a lot more different kinds of projects. But we really appreciate you guys stopping by and taking the time to watch the videos and enjoy, and hope you enjoy what we're doing out here. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And, um, I've kidded with people. I never worked as hard in my life as when I retired, because in my jobs that I had before I retired, I was a supervisor. And the last place I worked was a union facility. So as a supervisor, all I got to do was carry around a clipboard and and a radio, and that was it. I didn't get to touch any tools, didn't get to do anything. So, like I said, I've never worked as hard in my life as after I retired, but we're having a lot of fun doing it. All right, thanks for stopping by. We'll let you go, and we will talk to you on the next one. Have a good one.